Andy's deck is you get to play Punishing Fire Grove of the Burn Willows, which is an incredible synergy against Delver or check pile. We saw it earlier on camera. That synergy, at least in the Punishing Jund deck, and it's very good against fair decks, but not very good against Grizzlebrand. You also get to play like Rishdon Porch. You get to Loam Wasteland over and over again, which is very good against like mid-range control and a lot of fair decks. So that's kind of the point of playing a lands deck. But unfortunately, in this matchup, a lot of that is not doing too much. Yeah, and you're really looking for a fast Merit Lage, which kind of entails like naturally drawing it, or you can possibly gamble for it, or there's obviously 4 crop rotations in the lands deck.
Right.
So
I wonder if, like, does Andy have a Caracas in the main deck? Sometimes you'll see them do that, and I think it'd be pretty.
Yeah, he does actually have one Caracas,
That's
which
not
is
bad.
very good against Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. He just goes to the Grizzlebrand. Or honestly, if Jacob goes for the kill where he just goes to, like, cast Emrakul, I don't know if
we can tendrils
matter.
though.
Oh, that's right. You can just tendrils.
Yeah, so I don't know if he tries to Caracas Grizzlebrand, like I don't know if there's a way you can set it up to where you can go for it in response.
I don't think you can, because even children. No, you can.
Yeah.
Because children coreless, you can just shallow grave it out, or because you can't graze it out. You have to shallow.
Yeah, I think if he gets Grizzlebrand, it's going to be very hard for Andy to win, even with Caracas. Like you
can just set everything up but the tendrils, and then just tendrils them.
Yeah. Either way, Jacob and Andy both on mulligans, and Andy looks like he has a turn 1.
Looks like
exploration.
Exploration, yeah.
Into gamble.
Gamble.
Either.
What are you grabbing here?
Well, it looks like he instantly grabbed a Thespian Sage, so he probably has a Dark Depth in his hand and is just trying to kill Jacob as fast as possible. Which is really the way you have to go here.
Definitely seems like the formula.
Can't really muck around with Life from the Loam in this matchup, unfortunately, for Andy, that is.
Yeah. Close board, you almost certainly can once you pick up some of the taxing or prison
effects. If you're Andy, you really don't want him to hit, and it looks like he hit a Wasteland. So the combo's still in Andy's hand. I think he can play out Thez.
Next turn, so I mean.
Thez Dark Depths next turn.
There you go, Jacob. Beat me in 2 turns. Jacob on a turn 1 brainstorm, no fetch land. I don't actually like this very much.
Yeah, I don't know what you're.
I mean, maybe if you smell the combo coming out pretty quick, I definitely like that as a potential option. But as it stands.
Yeah, the only way is if. Even then, you would rather just set up for next turn, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather have just waited, brainstorm, you get 1 deeper, you don't have to draw your bad cards again. You're so unlikely with just, like, drawing a Lotus Petal to actually go off this turn. Andy's going to lay Dark Depths and Thespian Stage out on the board. Jacob's going to redraw one of the cards he put back from Brainstorm. And,
this might just be all she wrote.
Andy with a...
I was just what you said, the quick Dark Depths kill, and that's what Andy seems to agree.
Talking about it being hard, but... Because Andy's, turn 3, turn 4 kill
all right, most of the time. But let's see what you got. Do you have a kill? Because we do.
Yeah.
All right. And this is interesting. I mean, lands is normally, you think of it as like, lands is the deck that goes to time, right? But this just shows that, honestly, kind of the power level of lands. Like, when it can actually come out of the gate pretty hard here, and like we really get to see that. Like it can almost function like a combo deck. Jacob, you see, go ahead, picks it up. Look at his next few draw steps. They're all terrible, it looks like. No, I don't think Chancellor was doing much. Although Chancellor in his opening hand would have been great that game.
I don't know if he needed that Grizzlebrand, but he actually would have. Because one of those was Brainstorm locked. So if he had another cantrip, like a probe or something, he could have actually gotten that Grizzlebrand in his hand if he had just waited 1 turn, I think.
Yeah, no, you're very right.
So he could have been getting punished for that main phase Brainstorm, as people usually do.
You just really want him to get punished. Just want to build the situation where he gets punished.
So you got Jacob's sideboard. What do we have to
combat lands?
Shore up this matchup?
I can't imagine this matchup is one that really needs shoring up. We have 2 defense crits, 2 Dread of Knights, 1 Elishnorn Grand Cinnabon, 1 Pithing Needle, 2 Reanimates, 2 Serenities, 3 Show and Tells, and 2 Surgical Extraction. Honestly, actually, like, Jacob has kind of a lot based on what he wants to do here. He has 2 Surgicals. I mean, those are traditionally very good against lands. They're maybe less good when you don't care about Punishing Fire or really the Loom plan.
Yeah.
But, like, they're traditionally quite good. And, 2 Reanimates, like let you just be faster. Like Lance is not going to pressure your life total, and like Pithing Needle shut down the
Yeah,
combo,
Pithing
just
Needle
slam
is
dunk it
definitely
on
good.
Thespian stage,
I don't.
and even Serenity isn't the worst. Being able to blow up all the like explorations, any like Mox diamonds he's got going on, like
Yeah, that may be just a little too slow. I
right.
kind of
Well, he
like
has
that one.
options. There's a lot. All
Yeah,
these cards are very good
honestly,
against
the
what Lance is
show and
doing.
tells.
I think he needs the Serenity, knowing what like Lance does in his sideboard, the spheres, resistances, all that stuff. You're basically kind of a weird storm deck. You really
Yeah,
need to get
actually,
a
the
close
more I
enough
think
up.
about it, the yeah, taxing
So
artifacts definitely okay.
overall, I like the Serenities. I like the Pithing Needle, and maybe a show and tell or two. Like Lance is going to be bringing in Graveyard Hand,
Yeah,
and
it's
like
not
they're
very
not going to
much
much
though
going on
from
show and tell.
Andy. I mean, it is his Bajuka Bog with
Mm,
crop rotation is something that and that's kind of like 5 copies. So that is something Jacob, if he
right,
has a green up a couple turns in a row, you might want to look out for it, and that might be a merit to bring in show and tell because
right.
that is 5 cards essentially. Well, 4 because you can't instant speed Bajuka Bog by itself. But he also has 2 surgical extractions, 2 drop of honey, 4 sphere of resistance, 1 crucible of worlds, 3 Crozon grip, and 2 tireless trackers. The trackers seem like a better win con than punishing fire.
Absolutely.
So
Honestly, I like cutting basically all the punishing fires as well as the molten vortex, and going straight into like honestly, I like bringing in like most of this like
yeah,
Bajuka box, surgicals, drop of honey, four
yeah,
spheres, and like Tyler Strikers. I want to bring it all in. I want to change my
yeah. I
plan.
don't know if you have enough for the tireless trackers, but I was just going from the bottom up.
Sure.
The Bajuka Bog for sure, the 2 surgicals for sure, the 2 drop of honeys, the 4 sphere of resistances. That's 9 cards.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, and so you definitely want the 3 punishing fires and the molten vortex out.
Yeah.
So
What
then
else
you
do
have
you like cutting?
5 other outs.
Like, is there any lands that you just don't think you need?
Well, you probably don't need you don't need all your Grove of the Burn Wells now that you don't have punishing fires. I can see like you shaving on 1 or 2 of those.
Sure.
I don't know how many lands
What about like
this.
wastelands and ghost quarters? Your plan really isn't to like sit there and loam wastelands and ghost quarters. Like, how badly do you really need those?
Um,
And knowing Jacob has 3 basics to search up with Ghost Quarter, I kind
yeah,
of like
the
dishing
Ghost
some
Quarters
Ghost
are
Quarters.
probably bad. I mean, the thing I like about the Ghost Quarters and the Wastelands over the Groves, like I don't know how much green he needs in his deck in red, but giving him the 1 life when Merit Lage is, well, I guess Jacob's fetching. Yeah, okay, that's probably never going to come up. Giving him the life is never going to come up, I don't think. So, yeah, they're probably worse than the Grove of the Myrtles,
Mm.
especially the Ghost Quarters.
Also, Mazavith like doesn't even produce mana, and
Yeah, Maze for
like
sure
they're not winning through combat. Like
is
there's a
not
lot
good.
of
The
lands
yeah,
themselves.
the Tabernacle I don't think is good. Um, the
So we probably cut
Mazavith,
Tabernacles and Mazaviths before we even
yeah,
cut
the
Ghost
Mazaviths
Quarters.
are bad, and then these 4 are bad, and then we need 1 more out, and it's probably one of the Ghost Quarters.
Sure.
We might, if we don't need tons and tons of mana, like if we felt like we could shave on 1 or 2 more, we might could bring in like a tracker
Right.
or 2. But
Even Glacial Chasm isn't very good. Like there's just so many
yeah,
lands that
yeah,
don't
that's true.
produce mana
Even
that just
Glacial,
aren't very good at all.
yeah. So we probably board out Glacial Chasm. That way we can leave in all the Ghost Quarters and all the Wastelands, and you could maybe bring out like 2 Ghost Quarters for 2 trackers.
Right.
But I don't know, if you need the mana or what. I don't really know how much mana Andy feels like he needs. I don't know how many of the mana producing lands can cut. That's kind of my problem. I don't really know because I don't play
So
lands.
we see Jacob Simmons. I think he's here on a mulligan. Andy seems to have kept 7. So post board here. What's the nut for Andy?
Um, well, I mean the one of Ancient Tomb or like one of the Mox Diamonds and a land plus a Sphere of Resistance would be huge.
Sure.
Having a Surgical would be huge.
Seems
If
good.
you have Exploration into, if you have Exploration into Mox Diamond plus land, that would be, with a Sphere, that would be huge. If you can get a turn 3 Dark Depths like we saw in game 1, that would be huge. There's a lot of different
That's a
things.
lot of hugeness.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things he could be looking for. Oddly enough, I think Andy has a Punishing Fire in his hand.
Oof.
To me, that seems like one of the first things that would come out.
Yeah, I don't like those cards at all.
But I think he also has an Ancient Tomb, and I see a Dark Depth. So if he has a way to find Thespian Stage, he could produce a pretty quick Dark Depths.
Absolutely.
Jacob
Jacob,
again with a
okay.
turn 1 Brainstorm.
I don't like this brainstorm here at all.
Yeah, especially here, like you you could at least leave it up in case he has a Sphere of Resistance and you just need to cast cantrips and
Absolutely,
stuff.
yeah. It being an instant,
Ooh, and it looks like Andy might have. Yeah, Andy has both the combo lands in his hand
wow. So
and a
we might
second
just see
copy
a
of
turn
Dark
three here.
Depths. Annie has an Ancient Tomb.
That's a turn three dark depths, correct?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah,
We may
I
just be running that plan back.
believe so. Yeah, it looks like Thez Ancient Tomb at the top of his hand.
I can't but think this punishing fire could easily just be one of the sideboard cards. I don't know what else he cut, but like,
Yeah, imagine if it was a Sphere of Resistance. I'm sure
oh
he
my gosh,
brought spheres in,
absolutely.
but imagine if it was a sphere here. You would just be like, oh, turn one sphere, turn two, um, one of my combo lands, turn three, one of my other combo lands, sweet.
I
Turn
would
four,
just be
kill you.
very, very hard pressed to like look at a deck with Tendrils of Agony and not bring in a Sphere of Resistance.
Yeah, he's got to have it, and he's probably thinking about, could I gamble for something? I think it's too risky since he
Yeah.
has one, thespian stage.
Since he has the combo going on, we might want to run this back. You're already up a game. Jacob going to go ahead and careful study, get him out of the second card of his brainstorm lock, likely going to dump a creature here, playing a little bit to the reanimator strategy, and he doesn't have a surgical, so I don't know if that's on Jacob's radar. I imagine it has to be. Looks like Chancellor of the Annex and Tendrils of Agony were the dumps off of
And he
careful
plays
study.
a land for turn. I think Jacob just like with these turn one brainstorms. I don't know why he's doing that, to be honest.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those things where some players.
Here's a Mox Diamond for turn.
I mean, sometimes in combo decks, you do want to actually brainstorm, right? Like when you have the potential to turn one,
Yeah.
you have the potential to turn two. Sometimes you do want to. Ooh, a Mox Diamond is a big pickup.
But it doesn't actually accelerate you.
No, but it does allow you to cast Gamble.
Yes,
turn.
you can lay down Thespian Stage, cast Gamble, and even if you hit one of your two Dark Depths,
Yeah.
you're good.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can grab like a sphere.
You can discard this forest. You can grab a sphere. Okay.
It's like I think
Okay,
this
so
Mox Diamond
discard
is a really
forest.
big pickup.
Yeah.
Discard Punishing Fire.
Or oh, oh, it can be any card.
No,
I thought it
it
just had
can't.
to be a
It
land.
has to be a land.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I thought it could be any card there for a minute. That would be so good. God, Mox Diamond would be such a good card.
Yeah. So then you lay your Thespian Stage, Gamble for
Gamble for a sphere.
a sphere,
This seems like what the doctor ordered.
and if you hit Dark Depths, you don't care because you have
Yeah.
another. If you hit
But,
the sphere, you care a
Mox
little
is a
bit.
big pickup.
Yeah, that is a huge one.
If it hits the sphere, you care a little bit. But I mean, ultimately, you're on the same
Yeah.
plan you were previously. You didn't actually lose anything if the gamble hits the sphere, whereas the upside is just so incredibly high.
For sure.
But yeah, like I said, with Sneak and Show, there are times I would brainstorm into no fetch land just because I want access to the most cards on the turn I plan a combo. But it doesn't look like Jacob was planning on comboing on turn two, so I really just don't like these turn one brainstorms.
Yeah, he hasn't had the combo.
Looks like we did hit a Dark Depths, which means we're casting a sphere. We still have the other Dark Depths. And he kind of just jumbling his permanents around. Can't
Says
seem too bad.
go.
Maybe he picked up a surgical. Oh, and that's a surgical on Dark Depths. If he picked up a surgical, you have to surgical your own Dark Depths here. Yeah, here we go. That's exactly what's happening. You have to surgical your own Dark Depths here to prevent, and then you just fail to find the one in your hand to prevent Jacob from grabbing all your Dark Depths. Notably, it was really relevant that he grabbed a surgical there because if he had grabbed a sphere, this game would be just looking pretty over.
Yeah. Now I'm surprised from Jacob's side. He's getting rewarded because Andy pitched it, but the surgical from Jacob's side doesn't do anything unless somehow Andy discards his own.
So it looks like
Dark
both
Depths.
players should now be at 18.
I'm surprised Andy didn't grab out additional. Ooh, okay.
All right, this doesn't look like it does anything.
Do anything.
Yep, here's my other Dark Depths, friend. You hit my. I think Jacob was just looking for the extra surgical. We'll see if we have a reanimate spell here.
Yeah, Jacob needs a.
Go ahead and get life totals corrected here. The dice life totals cannot be corrected unless did Jacob tap for mana for his surgical? Andy throws his Dark Depths. Says, "All right, buddy, kill me."
Yeah, and this
Let's see
is.
if Jacob will deliver. There's a brainstorm. Now this brainstorm feels pretty good.
Yeah, this one looks like a good old
Such
good cast brainstorm. But that surgical there from Jacob, I don't think he's getting rewarded here.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think in the average case.
I don't think it's good enough either.
Here he sees another surgical in his hand.
Wow. Yeah,
Just think about what that could be. And he's going to lose because of it. Both surgicals coming in for Jacob.
Notably, did Andy shuffle his deck? after starting to heal
No,
himself?
I would have gone and searched out the other depths if I was Andy. Just I don't know.